Snellings here on ESPN Radio. The teams on the doorstep of change. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a team. And you tell me what could potentially happen with them this offseason. All right? Because we are at that point where next week we are more likely than not going to be on the air at some point between 6 and 10 a.m. Eastern, and Shams is going to report something about an NBA team blowing something up. Okay? I'm going to give you the team. You tell me what you think could happen with this team over the next week, 2 weeks, 2 months, etc. Phoenix Suns.
They got to blow it up.
Define blowing it up, though.
Explore trades for Kevin Durant. Take calls on Devin Booker, see what that is. I know they don't want to move him, but the only guy that they potentially can't move off of is Brad Beal, because nobody in the NBA wants that contract based on the play on the court. So, yeah, I think Phoenix can't justify paying $150 million into the tax next year for a team that can't even make the play-in tournament. So they're going to trade some pieces this offseason. I'd be surprised if Kevin Durant was on that team at the start of next year, and I can't rule out that Devin Booker might be gone out of the desert too.
I'm the same way when it comes to Devin Booker. I know that they do not want to move on from him. He's obviously the face of that franchise and is an incredible player. And it doesn't seem like Matt Ishbia would be keen to do that. But you don't have draft flexibility. You don't have cap flexibility. Your team has pieces that are getting older. You're not going to be better next year, especially if Kevin Durant is out of the equation. So what are you going to do? Hang on to Devin Booker to be in purgatory in a situation that's not going to get better moving forward? What do you think is going to happen? I just see it going down like a Damian Lillard type path, where if he stays there, eventually he's going to get frustrated because he knows how good he is and he has a finite amount of time left to win. And you would want to get something, or at least the most for him that you possibly could before it gets ugly. I don't think moving Devin Booker should be off the table.
You know what's amazing about what you just said in the comp for Dame Lillard, because it makes a lot of sense? I'm going to guess when you just said that, you and 99% of the audience forgot that Devin Booker was in the finals a few years ago with a completely different team that they voluntarily broke up for no reason. Damian Lillard never went to the finals of the Blazers. This Suns team was in the finals a few years ago and blew the whole thing up for no apparent reason, which is just wild to think about.
Dame is kind of my template for some of these things, where I think about players who have been really loyal to an organization, been really great to an organization, that with everybody, in today's NBA, there's likely to be an expiration date.
All right, next team. What could they do this offseason? Philadelphia 76ers.
Get rid of everybody, not named Tyrese Maxey or Jared McCain. Get rid of all of them. I don't know if you're going to be able to get rid of Joel Embiid.
Let's play this out.
I don't know if anybody's going to I don't know if anybody's going to be willing to meet an asking price that makes sense, but I would explore the potential trading of Joel Embiid. Paul George is as good as gone. I don't expect him to be on the team next year.
That's what I wanted to play out with you.
Yeah.
Let's play out the Paul George part of this.
Yeah.
If you're the Sixers, are you trading him to get him off the team? And what I mean by that is, like, my team in Miami, just as an argument, for argument's sake, needs to do something this offseason. They have Duncan Robinson at $19 million expiring and Terry Rozier at $26 million expiring after the season. Are you trading him literally like, I don't care who I get as long as it's off my books? Is that the kind of thing that you're saying?
Yeah, well, clearing cap space is not nothing.
Well, but it may be nothing because that's what they did for this offseason.
Well, they did that this offseason in order to get Paul George. They
How'd that
signed him
work
at
out?
free agency. Yeah, but I don't think it's impossible to look at Philadelphia as a free agent destination, especially with Tyrese Maxey as the centerpiece of what you're building around.
Yeah. No, I think if Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain are your centerpieces, they're as likable as could be. They put a smile on the face. They need to operate like the Warriors operated in terms of leading with joy. Smalls, Philly, let's go to the Embiid part. Would you get rid of him?
I would. If I could, I would. The process has got to end, and he's the last real piece of that. I don't know if they're going to be able to make it happen, but I don't see it getting much better between the two parties. I don't see it ultimately clicking and them getting to the promised land.
The only thing clicking is Joel Embiid's knee.
Oh.
That's the only thing that's clicking.
Is there a destination?
Players don't get healthier as they get older. It's not going to happen.
Is there a destination? Is there a team you're like, you know what?
They're an Embiid away?
Yeah, even if he's quote-unquote overpaid and underplayed. Think about that. Let that marinate for a second. Let's go to the next team. What happens, Nuno, it's on the list. I'm sorry I have to do it this way.
Sorry, Nuno.
What happens if the Knicks lose to the Pistons in the first round, if that is the matchup in 3-6? What happens to the Knicks?
Do you think Tom Thibodeau's out?
Well, again, you know my saying on this. I don't like presenting problems without solutions. You asked the same question to me a couple of weeks ago, and you said, okay, if he's out, who's in? And I didn't really have a great answer for you.
Now you do.
Michael Malone is a better coach than Tom Thibodeau.
Now you do.
Right.
Now you have the solution.
So, yeah, I would rather have Michael Malone than Tom Thibodeau. I think Tom Thibodeau is an excellent basketball coach. I think Tom Thibodeau has excelled as a defensive coordinator. I think Tom Thibodeau is the kind of coach that if I was a bad team, I'd want him to get me good. And if I was a good team, I wouldn't want him to get me over the top. I don't think I was insulting towards him. Maybe I was, but I think they would have to consider making that move. And I also think they have to consider calling the Suns and trying to get Kevin Durant. And they may have to do it by way of Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to give up Cat.
Well, that's what they're going to ask for because if
Man,
they keep Devin Booker, that's his buddy.
That Bridges trade is so bad, though, man. The Bridges trade ends up being the bad move. Like, they went all in with that move. I get it, and it was a steep asking price that the Nets wanted, and the Knicks paid it. I understand why they did it. One of those athletic wing guys that could help you defend when you match up against the Boston Celtics. I understand why they did it. It's going to end up being a move that caps the team because you put so many draft picks into that trade.
You want to know a weird comp? It just hit me. You know what the Knicks are? The Cincinnati Bengals. Every move made was for the Nova Knicks. Every move made is for Joe Burrow. That doesn't mean you're going to win. Just because you made the Nova Knicks doesn't actually mean you're going to win. They made the Bridges move was made so they could get Jalen Brunson to take less. Jalen Brunson staying means Rick Brunson staying. Rick Brunson being there, his dad, who's a qualified assistant coach, means Tom Thibodeau's there. Tom Thibodeau's there because of Leon Rose and Worldwide West, and they're all incestuous with all this stuff. They're all doing it to make each other happy. That doesn't mean you're going to win. Every move the Bengals made is to make Joe Burrow happy. That doesn't mean you're going to win. Sometimes some of these moves make people unhappy, and you have a better chance of winning.
Man, I don't think the Knicks could do it, but the move that if they could find a way, Kevin Durant to the New York Knicks.
Oh, that'd be
Without
so fun.
giving up Cat.
Without giving up Cat.
That would be so
They could
fun.
figure that out.
I'm not doing it if I'm them.
If they could figure that out, though, that would be the move.
Wait, you wouldn't do
The
that if you were
Suns.
the... Oh, I was going to say, if you
I
were the
need
Knicks, you wouldn't
Cat.
do that?
Because the Suns are still in make Devin Booker happy mode, and Devin Booker's buddy is Karl Anthony Towns. Kentucky guys, like that's who he's going to want.
I don't think Cat is going to want to go there, though.
Yeah, maybe
Cat's
not.
from here, so.
Maybe not. All right, last team in terms of what is going to happen, San Antonio Spurs. I got a suggestion if you'd like to hear it.
Yeah, I would love
What is
to.
it?
All ears.
Zion.
Go on.
That's the suggestion.
No, but why?
Okay, so positionally, it actually makes a lot of sense next to Wemby because
It does.
even
The
though Wemby is
physicality.
7'5", he wants to play further away from the basket. Even though Zion is 6'5", he wants to play closer to the basket.
Yeah.
Zion needs to be in a culture that is going to be all in on winning basketball. And CC has said, I know your first thought is going to be Miami, but he can't be in Miami.
No.
But he
No.
can be in San Antonio. And it's the same kind of
They're
thing.
fighting over Zion. It's in the local news. They fighting over it.
Distractions.
You can't be in Miami.
Can you imagine they get the number one pick and it's Cooper Flagg with Wemby and Stephon Castle?
That'd be
That's
fun.
just cheating at that point.
It's not impossible.
It's just cheating.
There you go. And obviously the biggest thing is what happens with Coach Pop.
It's one of the most under-discussed topics of one of the best coaches of our lifetime this year. I still can't believe we haven't talked about it to the lengths it probably deserves to be talked about.
I totally agree with you.
But they got to be in on Michael Malone if Coach Pop is done coaching.
I just have another question.
Sure.
Are we allowed to say that it's under talked about as we host a national radio and TV show?
Yes.
can
We can
say
say that, yeah.
But aren't we the ones to talk about it?
But yeah, it's calling ourselves out.
Oh, okay. As long as we're saying we have done a bad job talking about that.
Okay.
Or not talk. No, I'm just asking. I'm asking what the
Okay.
rules are with this.
Small just brought it up.
It's
so,
very
so now it's being
under
talked about.
discussed.
We're
If
talking about
only
it now.
we had a platform to discuss
That's
it.
right. Conversations.
Just had no room in the rundown, man. What can I say?
Been pretty busy.
We mentioned the Hoop Collective. Shout out to La Quinta. That was my way into the Hoop Collective. I am the
Hello, xin chào tất cả các bạn nha. Mình sẽ giới thiệu cho các bạn về kênh của mình và những video của mình cho các bạn biết được là kênh của mình làm video sáng tạo nội dung về chủ đề gì. Video của mình sẽ làm xuyên suốt về chủ đề cắt dán này. Mình sẽ cắt dán những sản phẩm như thế này cho các bạn xem. Đây là những sản phẩm mình đã hoàn thiện rồi. Sẽ giới thiệu sơ qua cho các bạn xem những sản phẩm của mình, cách của mình tạo ra những sản phẩm như thế nào. Và để tạo ra được những sản phẩm đa dạng màu sắc như thế này và như thế này thì mình sẽ cần những dụng cụ như sau, những dụng cụ phụ hỗ trợ này. Đây là giấy câu màu và trước mặt bên tay phải của mình đây là giấy câu màu, có đa dạng những màu sắc, tạo ra những sản phẩm tuyệt đẹp cho các bạn xem. Đấy. Có giấy màu xanh dương này, giấy màu cam này các bạn này, giấy màu đỏ này, giấy màu vàng này. Còn đây là giấy màu xanh lá cây. Và trong quá trình tạo ra những sản phẩm của mình cần những sản phẩm, cần những dụng cụ như là bút dạ này, kéo cắt thì để dùng để cắt, bút dạ thì để dùng để tạo hình sản phẩm. Đây là hồ dán thì mình sẽ dán sản phẩm từ một chi tiết này sang chi tiết khác, từ màu sắc này sang màu sắc khác cho các bạn. Đây sau của mình là chiếc chân kẹp đây là đèn hỗ trợ ánh sáng của mình các bạn, đèn hỗ trợ ánh sáng để